Good morning. It is a windy one, a little brisk, 57 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 degrees Celsius, and a little cloudy. Getting out for puppy walks. Oh, squirrel in the bush. Squirrel in the tree, I should say. Oh, here comes another one. They might have gone, oh, there they go. They're going up the tree. Might be able to see them. All right, little man's turn first this morning, so we don't have to try to, Terry doesn't have to get up and try to wrangle him after laying down. So we are at what, 9:04 in the morning. Getting a decent start. Got up about 7:45. Got the video up. And yeah, just gonna chill with these guys for a little bit and try to get over and see Mom for work. I gotta get gas in the car because I can only go like 50 miles. Kind of on the fence of how I want to do things here. I know how much money I need to get the Apple Card at least completely cleared, which would be my goal, but I don't know. It's a risk. So, come on, Boo. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. I'm trying to figure out exactly how much of my each day pay UKG gives me to know whether or not I'll have enough come Monday morning that, you know, I can balance back out to where I need for rent. So, but I also have the Care credit card to pay, which I don't even remember what the payment is on that. Sometimes it's 66, sometimes it's way higher. So, I hate money. I mean, I'll have one day, and the bad part is I only have like one day of this week, Monday to pull ahead. Then I work Wednesday and rent comes out Thursday, so gotta make sure I don't screw that up. Can't have that. But I am literally going to have to get up in that morning, get her card, go to the bank, and have money in the account ASAP. So there's not going to be any. I mean, deposits will go in before payments, so I should be okay. But I worry. It's just tight. So, and then of course Friday, one main comes out, and so does the next drone payment, I believe, because it should be on pay weeks. At least I did it on a Friday, so it's like when I get paid, but I make sure the money's in there. Oh, water's blowing off the trees from last night. Rained overnight, which kind of lulled me to sleep. Stayed up a little later than I wanted to, but you know, I was like sitting there watching the highlights of the truck race and the interviews and stuff. And yeah, a few other stupid videos. And I just caught actually like a movie trailer video. It looks, I don't know, it looks like there might be some interesting potential movies coming out. Who knows? Looking for a spot, Boo? It's like I'm looking. Yes, right about here seems like a place. I'm gonna sniff it up. Alright, successful boom for little man. That's good. That's a little gross, but nonetheless. So the cover did come for the controller yesterday. It took me I actually had to read the instructions because I'm like, how does this go on here? It locks in pretty interestingly, honestly. It kind of like clips on in a way, which was confusing me, but you can close the whole thing up, the antenna's down, then there's two little set screws that lock it in so it can't come loose, which is nice. You know, it also, like I said, it has multifunction in that it protects the controller when you're storing it, but then it also acts as a sunshade for the screen, like when the sun is out right now, which is always an issue, especially considering that screen is only a 700 nit brightness. It's one of the complaints on the controller. It does give you, you know, a lot more function, whatnot, and then the fact that you're not using your cell phone. I actually caught a gentleman in yesterday's video that was saying, you know, if you have this controller versus the one with that holds your phone, you know, if you get a phone call or a message or something, it can distract your flight or interrupt your flight altogether. And, you know, then you can have issues. Not so much disconnect from the aircraft, but you basically have to get out of the call and then go back in, and by that point, if you've let go of the controller and you're flying, you have to redo the shot. So, which you know, he's doing a lot more professional stuff with the Mini 4 than I will be doing. That is for sure. tomorrow's adventure, Mike texted me just a little bit ago that, you know, both of us are very, very, very tight on the fuel money. So there is no intention of getting together, unfortunately. So God knows when we'll have another Sunday to even adventure, but hopefully before the end of the month of June, we can get together and do something. I really, really, in the last either 2 days, I want to do Letchworth. And if we can do it on a Sunday, you know, Tim and I would head out with the dogs very early in the morning, so we're up there, we can explore it. Obviously, Letchworth, because it's a state park in New York, drones are not permitted, so that will not be a thing. Yeah, I'll never forget the time we were up at Niagara, or at, not Niagara, but Watkins Glen, and there was a gentleman flying a drone. I'm like, you do realize that you're not allowed to do that? Well, I didn't see any signs. Well, check out New York State drone laws, maybe. So it's a no-no. A lot of state parks do not want you flying drones. So regardless of the weight class or anything, it's just, you know, I get it. It can be a disruptance. People think you're spying on them when you're not doing anything of the sort, because they always think everything's about them. Don't get me wrong, there's people out there that do it, but I'm definitely not one of them. I try to keep people out of all shots unless I have their permission, and usually it's only my friends. So anywho, so I don't know what we're going to do Sunday. Hopefully it's not quite this windy. It is a little windy right now, so as much as I'd like to kind of get out and just find like an open spot and play around a little bit the next, you know, but trying to do things right before work is a little sus. Actually, you know, one place we could go, there is an open field over at Canfield Island, in the middle there. I could probably just play around in that section a little bit. And the downside of not having anybody with me is unless Tim's available, which I'm not sure. His schedule has been a little weird this week, to hold the dogs, because gotta watch little man. He's already been bit by one drone, and I don't need him to you know, do that again. So we got lucky that time, and you know, don't want to risk. Don't get me wrong. I mean, in fact, this whole concept of me hooking the leash to myself like this is because of the drone and them when we did the abandoned turnpike. Went up there, I'm like, how am I going to do this? And I figured out this hook system, but it was my belt buckle, or just a belt loop. Well, after they ripped one belt loop completely out, then a metal ring on my belt to hook them is how I've been doing it ever since. And it gives me hands so I can do things as well as, you know, fly the drone. I just have to make sure, and with it being only 8 feet long, I only have to put the drone a little bit away from us so that they can't get to it when it takes off. So you gotta sometimes think problems through, and you come out with a solution. You're thinking, Mr. Sun, I think you're pretty. You got a lot of clouds to deal with today and some wind. I don't know if we're supposed to get any more rain this week or this weekend or not. I think tomorrow's supposed to be somewhat decent. What do you think, boo? Huh? What do you think, little man? He's like, a lot of birds out today, Dad. Geez, even with these lenses, okay, now I have the brightness at full, and I still can barely see this thing. Oh, my glasses has transition too, so I might put my contacts back in. I was giving my eyes a break because I just feel like I keep trying to force my contacts back in too soon. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty positive, because this is the 31st, I'm pretty sure that Ruby and her owners move out today, unfortunately. Now, like I said, I do have contact information, so, you know, maybe at some point we can actually get together and the dogs can hang out, but I don't know. Honestly, it doesn't seem like the dogs really care as much about each other as I care about Ruby. She's just, I don't know. She's a basset hound, and I find them adorable. So, but I find most dogs adorable, to be honest with you. There's a few scruffy ones out there that I'm like, not so much a fan. But for the most part, they're loving little animals. Get a little more of this beautiful sky real quick. It's I'm gonna say the sky is a very, very pale blue right now. And of course, I did get some sort of a thing on my Weather Channel app that Canadian wildfires are back again. So we had this problem, was it last year? Where the air quality was so crappy. Mom was saying the sky in New York City was green from, I think it was from the lighting and the smoke, because my niece lived out there doing college. So, but that's supposed to start affecting us again. That's not good. Right, well, with no adventure means the equipment that Mike has, he's going to continue to have. Limb laps I'm not so overly concerned with right now, but he's got all my tripod bases. And thank goodness the tripod base for the, or the base for the gimbal that I got from Brian actually is a Arca Swiss. And that's how I was able to film the open box the other night. So it gives me a nice, really long plate to play with. In fact, that's how I've been mounting the Action, or no, the Pocket for the last couple nights to right on the tripod to send the footage over to the computer. So we'll just have to see what tonight brings. If we get a clear sky, might just try to do some night photography and just see how that works. That was another shot that gentleman showed that I was watching yesterday. I gotta look at channels better, but he actually did have a long exposure of a waterfall with the Mini 4. Now I don't know if he was using a filter or not. So, but that came as well. I haven't unboxed that yet. Because that's not going to be, I don't think that's going to be, on daytime it can be on it. Nighttime, obviously I'd have to switch back over to the OG lens. Because you actually pull the entire lens off. Or not the lens, but the cap off. And then they lock in. They're not like just slide overs or magnetized like the other cameras. Well, I mean the Action 5, you have to thread that one in too. So I have to remove the OG one to put it on there. Alrighty, I left the mics in the car last night. They're down to 60%, but they're holding. Got Princess out now for a quick walk. Hopefully. We gonna go for a walk? I suppose. It's crazy how fast the sky changes from walk to walk. Hell, minute to minute, but right now it's a little more blue this way, a little cloudier the other way. So, like I said, it's a very pale blue this morning because of the clouds. You can actually visibly see them moving. So there's a pretty good current going on up there. I wouldn't want to be too high with the drone, that's for sure. Yeah, so I didn't realize this, but apparently the obstacle avoidance is, it's a pretty wide span. I think he corrected himself on screen with text. It's like 1 to 2 feet around the drone that it tries to protect itself. Because I'm thinking about a flight down through these trees through here. I just think that would be really neat, especially with the flowers right there. But there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room. There's no low-hanging branches. So, except for that tree right there, it'd have to go down a little bit. So, I might play around. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. Just feel like I'm under too much of a time crunch this morning. Okay. You know, if you were up with me, I would know you need to pull over, not, you know, you just yank me to a complete stop, Priya. And then I hurt your feet. That's my biggest worries after she catches that crooked foot. You gotta sniff that bush, everybody pees on it. Yes, they do. So, well, we'll see what tonight brings. I mean, you never know, there might be a sunset when I get home. There's only 2 of us tonight. We have a cashier till 5. So 5:30 I have a third person, which should get me through curbside for the most part. Might have a couple handouts, but usually after like 4:30 we don't get too many orders, even though we're technically able to order till 7. So with any luck, I only have management there till 4. Gonna have to bust ass. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna have to get there and bust ass, but I'm probably gonna get there and have to give a break right away on the register. So, there's just never fails. But we'll figure it out. We'll get it done and get ourselves hopefully out of there at a reasonable time. Last night, like I said, we punched out at 8:29 and 29 seconds. So, but we made sure the three of us went back to MDU and we just attacked the living daylights out of it to knock it out. And you know, what would have taken me probably 20 minutes to do, we did in about 7, 8 minutes. Just boom, 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 cleaned it out and away we went. So, but we'll see what happens. So here we go. It's the FPV Toski is the cover I got. So like I said, it clips over the top, which was kind of interesting to do. But then it's got 2 set screws in the bottom and vents for the remote. And then some protects your controllers so you don't have to keep taking them on and off. Just make sure they're nice and snug, because they don't give you second ones with this thing. And then it can act as a sunshade at different angles so that the sun doesn't hit the screen and you can see it really well. And then this is the Freewell hybrid ND32 and polarized for the Mini 4. Give me a second here, let me get that opened up and try to put that on just as a test. Alright, so let's see, which is the Freewell's one of the ones a lot of people are using these days. I prefer K&F, but they don't make a polarized ND. And the only reason I did this, mainly a lot of the YouTubers are saying that because of the f1.7, it's almost necessary to have one of these on here. Now they make all kinds. It looks like they give you a little cleaning cloth and a nice case to keep it in there nice and snug, and it should fit the OG one as well. So it's kind of, oh man. In fact, I can fit a couple other ones, so if I end up getting just a CPL or like a 16 to NP and polarized, it's kind of a test. I went the farthest, might have gone too far, but I'm thinking because of the f-stop being so low, so this should just, yep, just a quick little unlock, and then you've got places to stick that lens. It's supposed to be pretty lightweight and everything so it doesn't affect the drone, and there you go. So that's what it looks like. And then there's horizontal filming, and if you shoot vertical, this is what I was talking about last night for the polarized, there's actual markers on the top for vertical and horizontal shooting, so that the polarizer should be the right direction, because that's the thing. But you'd have to, if you decide to switch orientations mid-flight, you'd actually have to land it, change it, and then go back up and do the other shot. And it does fit in the pack, in the case, with that on it, with the batteries. I got the Freewell up with the blades, and but everything fits. You just got to be real smooth putting it in, not be in a haste, because it's a little tight for the battery holder, but with that case or the cover on the controller, you can still fit everything in the OG DJI case that came with the accessory pack. It is cloudy, 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 cloudy. Sun is out, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if we're supposed to get any more rain today or not. It's like, you know, it's 11:16 in the morning. This could all blow out of here and we could have stars tonight. Who knows? You just don't know. No. Fingers crossed. If not, there'll be other nights. You know, it's not like it's going anywhere. So, just that anxiousness to get stuff, you know, early on with it, so you can practice. That way, you know what you're doing later on. All right, nice visit with Mom. Arby's was delicious. Got a couple things I got to pick up for at work that we carry. More Gatorade and some acetaminophen, since the price is so much less than going to Walmart. I think ours are like 79 cents, 89 cents. Walmart's like 98 cents. I mean, that's kind of, you know, a small difference, but the Gatorades are just like a few cents over $1 a bottle, which is, we have the zero. Alright, we are full of gas. That's done. That's a burden off me. Have a sandwich for dinner. Oh, doing alright. Hopefully tomorrow, weather-wise, it gets as warm as it is today. Mom's, I guess we're now supposed to get some rain on top of things that we weren't supposed to get, so it's probably best Mike and I aren't going to try to hang out together. I'm kind of looking at the backyard going, I don't know. There's a lot of power lines. I might try to do a flight because the mountain range behind Mom is really pretty. I would love to get a couple, like a panoramic of that. Test that mode out. I shouldn't have to get too high. And we're going to let him go. He's moving along pretty good. She was getting low on Tylenol, so thank God my supply is decent. I was able to hand some off to her, so she's got enough. She's got plenty until I get back tomorrow. Just really wish I could get her up and get her outside so she can get some fresh air. I think it'll help her. She's just in the house and breathing that air constantly. You need to get out a little bit. I feel like the dogs are calm enough now that I don't have to worry much that they're going to do anything. So we'll spend time with her tomorrow. Maybe dream up some flight plans here. Like I said, I see this thing doing a lot more photos than ever before. The camera is just that much better, even than the Mavic 2. And that was the Pro, not the Zoom. Alrighty, off to work. Let's see if we have dry weather tonight. Maybe get puppies for a little more of a walk than we did last night. It was very short in the rain. And, ooh, that wind is, yeah, would not be flying today. The wind is gusting. That would be bad. Look, everybody, more rain. It's not raining right now, though. But we did have some come through. Yay. Alrighty. 8:31, time to get out of here. So I get here and I see my 2:30 cashier walking in at 1 o'clock. I'm like, what is going on? Well, I guess the cashier that was supposed to be 9 to 5:30 had literally no voice. Couldn't speak at all. Didn't feel bad, but could not project any noise out of her. And called in the stalker, had her come in, run curbside for a while, till I got here. And then immediately sent her home, but we only had 4 curbside orders, so it really didn't matter too much this time. But I think we got the store good. I think, from what I could tell, we got the store good. We'll see how I get critiqued. So, but anyway, night is over, time to go home, and I can definitely say it is not my freaking shoes, because my foot is so sore right now. I have taken Tylenol, ibuprofen, and Aleve twice today, once at Mom's and once here. It must have, yeah, because I went to break at like 3 o'clock. And it's 8:30, so it's 5.5 hours. It is totally worn off. My foot is just... It actually, I think, hurts more now in these shoes than it does in the other ones. Because normally once I sit down, the pain goes away. It ain't going away. So I definitely done something bad to my foot. But whatever. Enough of that crybabying stuff. Didn't make me go home. Man, I'll tell you what, it slows me down. I don't know, I can't even like stand differently to get off of that part. It just doesn't stop hurting. Every step is painful. So, I think I might attempt to maybe, I don't even know if gauze would be a thing to even put on it. I don't think it's a rub. I think it might be fractured, if not now broken. So, I don't know if wrapping it's a good thing to do or not. Anybody have any expertise? And if you say go to a doctor, well, can't quite do that without freaking insurance. So, that's not an option. I got to self-medicate it somehow. Alright, getting the princess out for a quick little bottom lap here. Come on, let's go. Let's get moving. Come on, let's do potties. Let's do potties. I didn't bring any lights with me because it's still a little bit light outside. It's not too bad. Alright, so I threw on the LeBrons, the black and golds, which are like a size 12, I think. I'm a size 8, 8.5. As of right this second, absolutely no pain in these shoes whatsoever. There's nothing touching the side of my foot, so it's not aggravating it. So I think tomorrow we're going to just wear these. I might throw insoles in them, and we'll go from there. And unfortunately, yep, Ruby and everybody moved out today. So I was right. The other day was the last time we'd see Ruby in the vlogs. It's sad, but like I said, we do have contact information. I just don't see it ever happening, but you never know. So wind's picking up here a little bit. I'm gonna try to do some night photography, but if it's gonna be really windy, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm thinking about going over by the school and trying to go up. I don't have to go real high. And honestly, I need to research and see how many millimeter lens that is on that. If that's a 24 or a 20, because I really don't know. All right, it is a 24 millimeter equivalent. So it's not super of a wide shot, but still, you can back it up if you really need to, but I think we should be good. Oh man, just happy to be home. Come on, Priya, we gotta finish this walk. Mommy's gonna leave soon. Oh, we got a car coming. Guess we're not hurrying across the road now. I'm walking out the door and I already hear Terry yelling at Priya, and Priya barking. She wants a treat. She's already had everything. These dogs are spoiled and rotten. Aren't you, boo-boo? Huh? You spoiled? You're gonna go see Grammy tomorrow. Do you want to go see Grammy tomorrow? Yeah? Oh. Yeah, there's a significant wind right now. I mean, it's not the 24 mile an hour that the thing is supposed to hold up to. But I don't know if anybody's really ever given it a full 24 mile an hour wind test. That's a sane person. Alright everybody, I am going to call it a night. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the morning. And have a good night and stay safe.